Welcome back to Intables, everyone. So I'm going to go over the daily chart with you guys here on the SPY. This is the S&P 500, and Powell did speak today. He mentioned that energy prices would increase throughout the U.S. economy. So we did have a pullback in the market because of that, as energy has been holding up a lot of the market. And then we had Putin coming out in the middle of the day mentioning that Russia and Ukraine are one. And then right after Putin was speaking, we had Ukraine's Interior Minister advisor coming out mentioning that there are tanks entering into a nuclear plant. So we're going to keep an eye on Putin having any de-escalation, and also looking at what kind of momentum we do have leading into our first rate hike in a couple weeks from now. Now, there is an old saying that says buy the first rate hike, and the reason why is because we could have most of our fear in the first rate hike. So in a couple weeks from now, I will be adding into a lot of long plays. Now, as far as what's going to happen going to tomorrow, as you guys can see, again, we do have a wick to the upside, very similar to yesterday. As you guys can see, we did continue on up. We did have a wick to the upside. We did not get our body of the candle to break over our 20-day moving average. We are looking to see if we can, again, respect our 20-day moving average, which is the yellow line, and the 50-day moving average needs to cross back under our 20, so that way we could get that momentum to the upside. But again, just like yesterday, we had that decrease in buy volume. Even though we did get some buy volume, we didn't get nearly as much as we needed to have this continuation. And again, very similar to today, because again, we did get buy volume, but we got a decrease in buy volume, and we are getting rejected to the upside just like we did yesterday with the wick to the upside. Again, we did have a pullback today, so that is why we see a wick here on the daily chart. Now, I have two levels that I want to play either to the upside or to the downside here. As you guys can see, we have a very strong level here at 435 that we were looking to see if we can hold. Now, we did jump back over 435 going to extended hours, so we're looking to see if we can hold 435. If we cannot hold 435, the level I would be looking for intraday to continue on down would be below 430. And again, I would be selling on the rip to the downside if we did continue to get rejected on this 20 moving average, and we did continue on down below 430 going to tomorrow or next week. And our strong move to the upside, again, we do have higher lows and higher highs, showing us that we still could continue on up as long as we do get that increase in buy volume. I would want to see if we can increase in volume from our previous volume points that we have been having this week leading into Powell. So if I was looking for that stronger move to the upside, I would be looking to see if we can break over 447.50. And the reason why I say that is because you guys can see we have our rejection to the upside, and we were trying to respect these levels previously, and we could not, again, getting that intraday double top here and continuing on down. Now, we do have our bear flag here that did show us that move to the downside that we have been tracking, and as you guys can see, sure enough, playing out exactly as we did suspect. We did not continue on down below this level. We definitely did have a bounce here. So I would be looking for that stronger move, would be to drop down below 415 to have that larger move down. But again, we would be possibly looking for a larger invert head and shoulder here. So again, we're going to see exactly how this plays out. Either we do get rejected here and we do continue on down and possibly look for the invert head and shoulder and possibly continue on up here, depending on what exactly happens. If Putin were to de-escalate, for example, then we would have a possible major bounce back here. Or again, we could continue on down, and we do have our levels to the downside just in case we do continue on down. So making sure we do stay focused on these levels, staying focused on our volume, and looking at our buy pressure and exactly what kind of momentum we do have again today. We did have that move to the upside in pre-market because, again, we did mention yesterday that our EMA lines, we're looking to see if they can cross above, and sure enough, did cross above here. So again, we did get that move to the upside in pre-market, but again, having that pullback, we do still have our EMA lines below our MACD, showing us that we still could continue on down. Now, as far as our RSI, as you guys can see, we did get oversold, and we did have a bounce. And as you guys can see here on the RSI, we actually had bullish divergence, which gave us this bounce here, which does show us that we still could continue on up. And the reason I want to mention this is because when you do have bullish divergence, as you guys can see, we were oversold, showing us higher highs here as we did have lower lows here on our candles, creating that momentum to the upside, giving us this bounce here. So with bullish divergence, it does show us that we still could continue on up on a large amount of pressure. So again, we will keep an eye on this to see if we are going to continue on up with these bullish divergence, or if we are going to continue to get rejected on our 20-day moving average and continue on down. In my opinion, again, I do like how we are continuously breaking into new highs and newer lows. Now, jumping into the 30-minute intraday time frame, again, we had a lot of fear leading into Powell, but technically we are creating higher lows here, and if we do continue to create higher highs and we do break over 447.50, then we could have a major bounce back. Or if we do continue on down again, we still could get that invert head and shoulder on our daily time frame. So we will keep an eye on exactly how the market does move. Ultimately, just looking at what exactly Putin is going to do next, if he's going to continue to over escalate, or if we're going to possibly have a better situation out there. So from an intraday perspective, just staying patient. Most volume will be in the morning, and from a swing trade perspective, I would be just looking to see if we can get this 20-ring average to cross back over our 50 to get better momentum in the market, to get more confidence, and just staying focused on our momentum here. And if we do have major breakouts in the morning, then we will stay consistent with those breakouts. And if we have breakouts throughout the whole day, then that's what the market gives us. So we will take what the market gives us, and we will stay focused on staying consistent in the Instables room. Again, if you happen to be interested in intraday perspective breakouts within the same day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today. Again, all of you Instables that have been coming over and supporting the channel, appreciate every one of you guys. we're going to continue to go at it every single day. Even if the market stays very choppy, we're going to stay consistent. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help other people find it, and it does help the channel grow. And I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.